Some time ago, I had the opportunity to speak with Ondra Hackman, and this conversation occurred relatively shortly after the global impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Or rather, COVID was finally ending, and Ondra said he clearly saw big money, that COVID actually helped them immensely, that the markets were simply much easier to capitalize on. It really depends on who you ask. Not for me, but for Ondra, yes. He has different strategies and knows when to use which one. And when compared to Ondra, I actually haven't really been in the financial markets for that long at all, so I still didn't quite know how to handle it the way Ondra did. It's true that I'm not saying the exact same situation, and it's not like I would wish for it, but if a similar situation happened again in a different format, in a different way, but still basically matched, then I've already experienced a period like that once. So you can already predict a lot of things there, so maybe I'd be able to handle it better. However, the reason I'm bringing this up is because Ondra was talking about how it's really important to diversify your assets in general, and that he's interested in real estate, land, and so on. It's actually quite an interesting topic. For me, it was something that simmered for a long time. Not in a bad way, but I was just trying to piece it all together in my head. And it's true, and maybe the reason I let it run through my mind for a bit longer is because I also have a positive relationship with real estate. Or rather, my perspective is, what is the most valuable thing on Earth, on our planet? From my point of view, it's land. Yeah, that's something there just won't be any more of. There will simply always be demand for land. There will be more and more of us. We're constantly multiplying. That means there will never be more land. It's simply a limited amount. It's a fixed thing, and it's something tangible. Yeah, you can compare it. Of course, nowadays you can compare it to various things like Bitcoin, which also won't ever have more of it, and so on and so forth. But I'm a 50-year-old guy, and I respect Bitcoin. Yeah, it's not that I condemn Bitcoin, but I'm somewhat more drawn to real estate, or rather to land, buildings, and so on. It's actually quite close to me, and perhaps the opportune time has truly come. Maybe that significant time arrived even earlier than anticipated, when I genuinely start contemplating some kind of thoughtful diversification, when I actually consider it a remarkably good and astute move on Ondra's part, and when I might also begin the process of diversifying myself carefully and deliberately. And my view is that actually you can make quite a nice amount of money from it too, if I look at it as diversification. Well, you can always mess something up, that can certainly always happen, but for that significant amount of money, you are genuinely buying something truly tangible and concrete. Sometimes it might be a good deal, sometimes not so much. You buy the thing, but it still has some value, and the question is, if you look at prices today, the trend is quite clear. It's not just about a month anymore, not even about a year. It's been going on for a longer time. It just keeps rising, and systematically, real estate keeps increasing in value. That means it doesn't mean that when you buy a plot of land, and now the question is, I'm a bit of a speculator under the surface. I'm simply a speculator. I've been doing this for years on the markets, on forex, so I'm a bit of a speculator, and I would never buy that plot of land just for speculation. And if it doesn't work out and it's not some kind of disaster, and again, it's about diversification, so I don't take all my money and put it into one property or one plot of land. But if you approach it with common sense, then it's just a matter of time before even a bad purchase. For example, if I simply bought something that wasn't exactly a great deal price-wise, the price will probably get there eventually. So it's really just a matter of not giving in. Again, we're back to emotions and discipline. What we learn in trading, not to panic when there's a temporary price drop, not to needlessly panic and sell off all the land. It's exactly the same as with any other commodity, whether it's gold or if we moved it to anything else, like diamonds. And gradually, I kind of balance the portfolio a bit in this way as well. Yeah, I actually think it makes some sense. I'd be quite interested in your perspective whether, as an investor, this makes sense. Do you think it does? I like those quick trades. For several years now, flips have been quite common here. Flipping is really my thing, and it's basically a quick trade, a quick deal. It's not an intraday trade. Yeah, it's not settled within the same day, because there are certain deadlines and so on. I can imagine bringing some of my creativity into it, like when something is being sold that no one is interested in because there's no imagination, no spark, and I'm quite a creative person, so I can picture what it could become. Sometimes I can even steer it in the direction of what could be there. That means making some adjustments so that it fulfills the intended purpose. And it could probably increase in value and so on. I think I would definitely diversify my investments a bit more, perhaps into different sectors or asset classes. I'll probably always remain a trader. Yeah, once a trader, always a trader. Yeah, I mean, it's just deeply ingrained in my very being. I honestly don't think I'll ever truly get rid of this inherent passion, and I'll probably continue engaging in trading activities until my very last breath. But as another significant investment segment, I genuinely don't really perceive it as inherently risky. Well, as long as one consistently employs sound judgment and common sense. So, in essence, it's not that inherently risky real estate, I mean. And I see that the returns there are actually pretty good. It works quite well, you just need to put some effort into it. So, I'd be quite interested in your valuable perspective, whether you truly think it's the right move. Try writing to me.